Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall in Dothan today, talking about, is it RICO's law?
Actually, it's the new criminal enterprise bill that we passed in the last legislative session. Very excited that for the first time we're going to give law enforcement a tool to deal with gang activity. Alabama was not in a majority of the states around the country with a bill to help address that problem. And when you hear mayors throughout our state, when I hear law enforcement throughout our state talking about how that problem is exacerbating violent crime, really excited about what we're going to be able to do.
How bad is gang activity in Alabama? Give us an honest overlook from your perspective.
Well, first let's define gang. I mean, under the bill, it's 3 or more people coming together to do bad things. So it's not MS-13 or Bloods or Crips, but really just groups of people who are designed to do crimes throughout their community. And so we see that both in cities as well as in our rural communities. Clearly there are some places where they're having more trouble than others, but yet the reality is that during my entire time as a prosecutor, Ken, which has now been 20 plus years, we've known that and we've seen it. We just simply haven't had the tool to be able to try to attack that particular problem.
You are a prosecutor, you don't do mental evaluations, but if you looked at the problem with today's mostly young people, older people as well, why is this the problem becoming more prevalent?
But I don't know that it's any more prevalent. I think we're just more aware of it. You know, we have additional tools, and I'll use social media as an example. I mean, gang members are great about telling us about their affiliation or bragging about the things that they've done. Maybe to some extent they were a little more under the radar screen when we didn't have kind of those intelligence gathering tools to assist us being able to do it. But particularly around drug crimes. You know, we've always seen organized groups kind of top to bottom that are a part of drug trafficking rings. Maybe now we're just seeing it in a much more pronounced way involving organized retail crime and property offenses, when we're seeing it on revenge crimes with gangs against other gang members. And I think it's making us obviously much more aware.
But you know and I know there's a lot of people that should be behind bars. There's simply not room to put them there. What's the solution?
Well, I think we see a disproportionate number of those in our prison system right now are there for violent crimes, which means they need to be there. And so we need to make sure that we have the facilities there. They need to meet constitutional standards, but to make sure that we have the ability to hold those offenders. If you look back again in my history as a prosecutor, we've made significant changes to the sentencing guidelines. We've done other things around criminal justice that has tried to make sure that we're identifying those that are subject to addiction and committing crimes for those reasons, and creating drug courts and alternative courts to help those individuals restore their lives. But the reality is there are certain people that just need to be in jail. We need to hold them accountable, and we need to have the place to be able to send them.
Got 20 seconds left. You got important legislation passed, or at least you pushed it in the 2023 legislative session. What would you like to see passed in 2024?
Yeah, I think I'm still listening to law enforcement to let them tell me what to do. We're meeting with sheriffs and chiefs around the state. I think we had the best session we've ever had during my tenure, and so excited about the changes that we've made, but look forward to being able to work with our legislature in the future.
And we thank you for being with us. Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall talking about some of the crime problems and new legislation to combat those problems.